oh my goodness, the price, the cost of how much you have to pay for housing. Hi everyone, so thank you so much for the last video. You guys, thank you so much for watching that video. And in that video, my daughter is toasting bread. In that video I talked about how to pay zero, sorry. In that video I talked about how to send your child to college without them having to take a loan and things that have helped us. So today is like almost like a part 2 where people are asking, what exactly do you pay for when your child goes to college? And I wish someone had done a video like this when we were starting off. When we started off sending our child to college. So a little bit about myself. My name is Shola. Welcome. If you're not subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. I'm married, 22 years. So I don't even know what I'm saying, but 22 years in a couple of days. But I have 2 daughters. I have a 20-year-old who is a sophomore in university, and I have a 16-year-old who is a junior, and she's going off to college next year. So of course I've been asked this question so many times, but I've not done a video. So today I was like, you know what, let's do a video, and I have some time. So what are the things that cost us? What did we spend our money on? And what do you have to look forward yes, look forward to paying for if you decide to pay for your child's college education and you don't want them to take a loan and stuff. So a couple of things, and I'll break it down from the most expensive to the least expensive, right? So the first thing that we paid for was housing. Yes, housing. When your child starts off in college, they're usually in the dormitory, and that can get pretty expensive. Even if they're not allocated a dorm room, a hostel, dorm room, they are renting an apartment, and most likely renting an apartment not just with themselves but with other people. You can make it so not that go the other way. Go this way. Go this way. So not just with themselves, sorry about that, not just with themselves, but they are also with other people. So housing is the one that is most expensive when it comes to finding, paying for the child, okay, for the child's university education. Housing, my goodness. Housing is so expensive. So what is in the housing bucket? In the housing, you have their food. You got to pay for the food that they're going to be eating, and of course, their dorm and board and room and board. So you are paying for those ones. Those are the key ones. Now, part of the housing, you also, if you are someone that you're going to send your child to university with a car, keep in mind that you will have to pay for that car being on campus. So keep that in mind when you decide whether to send your child to school with a car or not with a car. And most of the fees that you pay for is like I think it's per semester that you pay. If I'm wrong, please check with the school that the child will be going to. All schools are different, but most are similar. So you pay for housing. Once you pay for housing, the next one is the tuition. Tuition is not including books, right? It's not including books. When you say tuition, it's just for them taking so many credits at this school. Different schools have different tuition amounts, okay? So if you go to a school that is very expensive, the tuition might be higher than if you go to, like, say, a community school where the tuition is less. If your child takes a lot of credits, the tuition is going to be higher, versus if your child goes like a half student or have credits or whatever, is lower. So keep that in mind. Tuition varies, but tuition is something that you'll have to pay for. Another thing that you'll have to pay for when the child is in school is in terms of their extra miscellaneous. Okay, when I say miscellaneous, if you're someone that you are a proactive parent, you might want to also help out the child in terms of extra expenses such as feeding outside of campus. So what I mean is that, it's not all the time that your child wants to eat in the cafeteria. Your child might want to get a pizza, get Chinese food, get this, get that, eat with their friends. So you want to give them some amount of money to hold on to so that they can use that when they're feeding, okay? You also want to make sure you allocate for them in terms of money for things such as books. Yes, so books is expensive. I know I put food before books, but you can interchange it depending on if your child doesn't like the dormitory food or the cafeteria food, then they're probably going to spend more money on food. But books, keep in mind that books are expensive. You can reduce the price you pay for books if your child goes to a class that the books are online books or the class doesn't have books. So you might end up actually paying zero for books. But in most cases, you will actually pay for some kind of books, okay? Another expense that you will incur is expense of things that they're taking to college. Now, I didn't put that higher up because sometimes what you can do is before your child graduates, you can create what is known as a wish list. So that is something we did. We created an Amazon wish list, sent it to friends and family, and people actually bought a lot of what she needed for university. And she also got donations. She attended events where they were doing back to school drives. She got all that stuff. So you can look into that to reduce the cost of what they're going to take to college. Some things that they might have to take to college or they will have to take to college is like their beddings, their toiletries, their like notebooks, pens, clothing. They might want to change up their clothing, and just furniture, small furnitures, like a bean bag, rugs, stuff like that. So keep that in mind that you might have to save up for that, okay? Next, one thing that I will say is that if your child is not in the dormitory, keep in mind that you have to pay for their rent and utilities. If your child is not in the dormitory, if your child is in the dormitory, they will, they don't have to pay for utilities like electricity, internet. Now, if they're not in the dormitory, they might have to pay for that. So that's something to keep in mind if you decide that your child is not going to be in the dormitory, your child is going to live off campus. So in my case, my daughter, who is a sophomore now, she stayed on campus during her freshman year, and then she's currently staying off campus. Oh my goodness, the price, the cost of how much you have to pay for housing, mind-blowing. So right now, the rent she's paying is a lot. It's even going to be much more next school year. Then she has to pay for utility, for internet, for phone, for so many things, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, the next one is if your child doesn't have a car, you want to also keep in mind that they might also have to pay for transportation. In some schools, transportation like buses are free for students, so you might also want to find out that information from the school. But if your child takes their car, then keep in mind that they might have to pay for gas and maintenance for that car. And perchance something happens, yes, you will also have to pay for that. I don't know if I'm forgetting something else, but of course, if I'm forgetting something else, do let me know in the comment area. All you seasoned moms and dads that have gone through this process before us, let me know. And if this is your first time watching, don't forget to subscribe. And if you've not watched my previous video, you can also watch it right over there. And I'll talk to you guys in another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.